For 47 years, Iran has been at war with America, killing our citizens, our soldiers, and our allies, while previous administrations looked the other way. The real endless war is the war that Iran has waged on us for 47 years. President Trump is the only president with the guts and moral clarity to finally do something about it.
It was one of the most daring and high-risk special operations conducted in modern warfare. Last night, under the cover of darkness, 3,000 elite US Delta Force operators launched a massive, lightning-swift raid on Iran's most important naval base near Bandar Abbas. Their primary objective was clear and critical: to locate and completely destroy a heavily fortified underground storage facility containing advanced underwater cruise missiles that Iran had positioned to target American Navy ships in the Persian Gulf. In a stunning display of elite combat power, Delta Force breached the base, fought through determined resistance, and obliterated the missile complex deep underground. What Iran believed was safely hidden and protected is now nothing more than a smoldering ruin. This is the complete story of how America's most elite warriors struck deep inside Iranian territory and changed the balance of power in the Gulf in a single night. For several weeks, US intelligence agencies had been tracking increased activity at the Bandar Abbas naval complex. They uncovered alarming evidence that Iran had secretly developed and stored a new generation of underwater-launched cruise missiles. These advanced weapons were specifically designed to target US aircraft carriers, destroyers, and other naval assets operating in the region. The threat had become too serious to ignore. Once the decision was made at the highest levels, detailed planning for a direct ground assault began immediately. More than 3,000 battle-hardened Delta Force operators from multiple squadrons were quietly mobilized. These elite soldiers, widely regarded as the best special operations force in the world, conducted intense rehearsals on full-scale mock-ups of the Iranian base built in a secure location. Every building, every tunnel entrance, and every defensive position was studied in detail. The assault force was supported by Marine raider teams for specialized tasks, Army Rangers securing outer perimeters, and massive air support including F-35 stealth fighters, Apache attack helicopters, AC-130 gunships, and MQ-9 Reaper drones. The USS Abraham Lincoln and USS Tripoli carrier strike groups positioned themselves offshore to provide overwhelming backup, electronic jamming, and rapid extraction capability if needed. The mission was rehearsed again and again until every operator knew their role perfectly. The objective was simple but extremely dangerous: infiltrate the base, destroy the underground underwater cruise missile storage, and exfiltrate before Iran could organize a major counterattack. At exactly 01:45 local time last night, the operation was launched. Under the protection of total darkness, and waves of MH-47 Chinook and MH-60 Black Hawk helicopters crossed into Iranian airspace. Delta Force operators fast-roped from the hovering helicopters directly into multiple strategic points across the heavily guarded naval base near Bandar Abbas. The moment the operators hit the ground, the operation phase turned extremely intense. Delta Force teams moved with incredible speed, precision, and overwhelming firepower. One element quickly secured the outer perimeter, silencing guard towers and defensive positions using suppressed weapons and night vision advantage. The main assault force, consisting of over 2,000 operators, pushed aggressively toward the heavily protected underground entrances that led to the critical missile storage facility. IRGC naval guards and Quds Force personnel mounted fierce resistance, but they were no match for the training, coordination, and firepower of Delta Force. Firefights erupted across the base, but the American operators dominated every engagement through superior tactics, night fighting capabilities, and relentless pressure. Deep beneath the surface, specialized Delta teams breached multiple reinforced blast doors guarding the underground complex. What they discovered inside was exactly what intelligence had warned about. The operators moved methodically through the vast underground facility, placing powerful explosive charges on the missiles, control systems, fuel stores, and structural supports. As the charges began detonating in a carefully sequenced series of explosions, the entire underground storage complex was transformed into a collapsing inferno. Massive secondary explosions ripped through the facility, sending thick columns of black smoke and fire bursting out from the tunnel entrances. Delta teams continued clearing section after section, ensuring that every single missile and critical piece of infrastructure was completely destroyed before they began their withdrawal. While the underground assault was underway, outer Delta teams and supporting forces fought off desperate Iranian counterattacks. Iranian armored vehicles and troop reinforcements tried to reach the base, but they were met with devastating fire from Apache helicopters, Reaper drones, and AC-130 gunships circling overhead. The sky above Bandar Abbas lit up with tracer rounds and explosions as American air power systematically neutralized every threat. In just 55 minutes from the initial insertion, the primary objective was fully accomplished. The underwater cruise missile threat that had been aimed directly at the US Navy had been wiped out. Delta Force then executed a disciplined and professional exfiltration under continuous air cover. All 3,000 operators were successfully extracted from Iranian territory with only minimal casualties despite the intensity of the fighting. A major hidden threat that Iran had invested heavily in has been eliminated in one decisive action. For the Iranian regime, this represents far more than a tactical loss. It is a profound humiliation. One of their most important and supposedly secure naval bases was penetrated deep into its core by American special forces operating on their home soil. The success of this operation carries a powerful and unmistakable message. The United States will not allow direct threats against its military forces to go unanswered, and when it chooses to act, it can project the most elite ground combat power anywhere in the world with devastating effect. Delta Force has once again proven why it remains the gold standard of special operations worldwide. This was The Military Show, bringing you the full, detailed account of last night's historic raid on Bandar Abbas. The situation in the Persian Gulf has shifted dramatically in a matter of hours. If you want continuing analysis on what this means for US-Iran relations, Iran's possible retaliation, and the future of naval operations in the region, hit subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and stay tuned with us. America drew a red line, and last night, its warriors enforced it with absolute precision and overwhelming force.